Hello there. Welcome to the Coach Craig Kenneth Show. I'm your host, Craig Kenneth.
And I'm your co-host, Coach Victoria.
And this is a caller-driven show where we like to talk to you guys about a lot of different issues going on in your life. If you have a problem with work or your boss or your coworker.
Anytime.
Every time, we can't help it. It's such a good bad joke that we can't help
It
it.
is a good match.
And, we like to talk about a lot of different things here, relationships, dating issues, whatever issue may be going on in your life. And of course, if you want to be on the show, go to the website, askcraig.net, go to the side where it says CK Show, and you can fill out the little form and let us know what's going on in your situation.
Right. You bring it to us and we will yap about it.
Today, we've got Greg on the line with us, and he has got a lot of drama going on in his breakup to the point where he's wondering if his ex hates him and he doesn't even know why. So let's bring Greg on. Greg, can you hear us?
Yep, I gotcha.
Nice to have you on with us.
Nice to be here.
So sounds like you had a pretty turbulent breakup, huh?
Yeah, it was a good relationship that ended kind of suddenly, and we had a really close friend group, and so we kind of kept seeing each other, and then yeah, I think just like the continued contact and some negative actions on both of our parts kind of built up into a very intense falling out and very public in the friend group and really kind of fractured that friend group as a whole.
Okay, well, obviously we need to hear some of those details
Yeah.
to figure out what happened. But you guys were together for how long before the breakup?
About 7 months.
Okay. And how did you feel about the relationship? Did you feel like there were issues? Did she say there were things that were bothering her or that maybe you thought were leading to a breakup?
So, I definitely had my qualms about her. She is a bit impulsive, and um, I wasn't sure if like she's the one I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. But she's a really fun person. Like we definitely had the connection. So it was something that I wanted to try and I guess pursue that deeper relationship and kind of get more serious about it.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so then things kind of ended really suddenly. We kind of had a little, I don't remember what it was even about, but things kind of was like a small disagreement, and then she dumped me via text, and
Well,
that
hold
was that.
on. What was the disagreement about?
I don't remember what we actually disagreed about, but I know there was something where I had this sort of internal turmoil of like, what are we doing here kind of thing. Like it was a consistent thing of like she kind of would like I said, she'd be impulsive and just like not do things she would say she would do, and just kind of like ended up being like certain things like just didn't matter, and like she just wanted to do whatever she wanted to do. And I felt like I put in a lot to the relationship, and then sometimes she just kind of didn't really reciprocate at times.
I see. And what did she say in the text? Because sometimes that breakup text or call can reveal
Yeah.
some things that maybe you didn't know or are shocking.
Yeah, it wasn't like this long paragraph. Like we were talking about something, and then we got onto to some sort of sore subject, and it was just kind of like it's over. I don't have the text anymore, so I can't look back at it, unfortunately. But it was very sudden. It was not something where I was expecting it. It was we're talking. She said something, and I, kind of got a little agitated, and then it was like, all right, this is over.
Wow.
Yeah,
Were you in shock?
I was. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, it's kind of surreal how a connection that you've had with somebody where you're so intimate for so long
Yep.
can lead to have one argument and it's like, I'm so angry about this that I'm done.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
done forever. All right.
Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah. So what happened? Did you leave her
Uh,
alone? Did you try and change your mind?
yeah, so I've dealt with a breakup before. I watched your videos, the no contact, and I admittedly did too much of the no contact because she did reach out. But I was like, all right, you're not I'm not on Facebook anymore, not texting you, just purely not responding to her.
Wait. I'm confused. So you're saying that she would reach out to you and you would ignore her?
Yeah.
How many times did she reach out?
Probably like 7 or 8.
Hmm.
Yeesh. What?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Why would you ignore her that many times?
Um, well, she didn't really like commit to being like, hey, I want to get back together with you. And then at the same time, I like looking back, I was still pretty angry about things. So I didn't want to be like breadcrumbed of like, hey, just hope you're doing well. Like, and then like get into this conversation like as friends. It was like, all right, if you want to like revisit things, I want you to like actually say that and be direct with me, not this sort of runaround.
Okay, but I'm confused. When you're saying ignore, does that mean you just didn't reply at all?
Yes.
So this is interesting because I think this is bringing up something that I don't think we've talked much about, but no contact being a way to almost stonewall a partner. So sometimes breakups happen because of impulsive decisions. I'm mad at you. I don't think I could do this anymore. We're done.
Hmm.
And somebody can, the week after, even the month after, can kind of think, well, maybe that was impulsive. Let me see if they're open to a conversation. They might not start out by saying, hey, I want to work on this again, but they
Hmm.
might start out with, hey, how was your day? To just
Hmm.
dip their toe into the conversation. So it sounded like what you had said earlier with you still being angry. It was almost like a form of like, no, I'm not going to talk to you. You broke up
Yep.
with me.
Yep.
And
That's exactly what it was.
that can
Oh
be
my
very different.
gosh.
This is
Yeah.
why we talk about no contact as no reach out, because
Yep.
Yes.
if we are trying to repair, then we have to be a little bit flexible. I get that you were mad at the time, but
Yep.
I can see how that became a stonewalling type of thing.
Yeah, we
Yep.
don't we really don't encourage that for that very reason, because a lot of times if you ignore your ex even one or two times, they don't reach out again. I'm a little confused though. Like what was she saying to you? Was she saying, "Hey, can we talk?" Or I don't what was she saying? I
Yeah.
just want to
So
be
the
friends. Like
the
what
first
was
message was a week later, and it was a
okay.
very like heartfelt, like it was a long paragraph, and it ended. I don't remember the exact detail, but it was basically, I'm really regretting this. Um,
Okay.
and so it was like for my mind, it was genuinely a question of like, I feel like she wants to get back together, but like she won't say it. And again, I don't think I
Well, she
handled it the
said she
best
was
way.
regretting it.
Yeah, exactly. But like, like what are you regretting? Dumping me? Like the relationship? Like, it wasn't clear enough for me to then go and say like, is this you trying to get back together? Because I didn't want to, I as an avoidant, I didn't want to get vulnerable in that moment, and I wasn't ready to revisit. And honestly, at that point too, like I was kind of like over it in that sense of I kind of let the anger really be present, and I was like, all right, well, I'm done with this too. And yeah,
So what did you reply?
I just didn't reply.
You just ignored that.
I did.
Oh man.
I want to ask
Yeah.
too, because I know that we kind of passed through this, but if you had to guess what her reasons were for the breakup, I know remembering that text was hard, but if you had to guess what she would say the reasons were, what do you think she would say?
Yeah. So the day before, I brought up kids, which we hadn't really discussed. On her profile, she had it as not sure. But when we talked, she's like, I never saw myself as a mom. Um, I definitely want kids. And so that was also part of why, like, at first I didn't want to just like jump in it and say, like, oh, all right, well, this isn't going to work. I wanted to kind of see where things went. So I think that's definitely like a big logical issue. Um,
Sure,
during,
that could
dur
scare someone.
Yeah,
yeah, and like it literally was the day before, and so I don't know if
I
that's kind of,
see. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Another thing is just like in the relationship, like I like to make jokes, and I make jokes about myself and also my friends. Like that's my way of kind of showing affection to some degree. So I would make jokes about her, nothing too crazy, nothing like really insulting, but and nothing she wouldn't say about herself. But I think that it was too much for her. And then so she
Mm,
did voice that at one point, and then I apologized and worked on it. And
okay.
I don't know if that was just sort of an issue that sort of built some resentment within her.
Yeah.
So it depends upon the person, some
Mhm.
people can take it and some people like that kind of,
Hmm.
but we have seen that before
Yeah.
where people would get very upset about a
Mhm.
joke and then and leads to a breakup.
Yeah.
So it just depends upon your person.
And I could also see a couple of reasons for this. I mean, the two of you were a part of like a mutual friend group. That transition from being friends and being able to joke with a friend to that level to then caring for somebody romantically might not translate well. And then sometimes the other thing that I see often in this kind of situation is somebody who might have maybe a lot of guy friends or would joke with their guy friends in that way, and then wanting to have that kind of humor with their partner or their girlfriend, and maybe that tenderness isn't as expressed in those ways.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that I see.
Okay, so you wound up ignoring her a bunch of times. Honestly, I'm surprised she reached out to you that many times. I mean, 7 or 8 times of being ignored.
Yep.
You wouldn't have heard back after from me with one. That's it. I make one, attempt to contact somebody. If they don't want me in their life, no, I'm not going to chase them.
So it sounds like she was regretting it. So
Yeah.
then what happened after you had ignored those messages?
Yeah, so after a couple messages, her dog ended up passing, and so she called me when that happened, and I picked up and I was there for her. I went over to her place and like gave her a hug and we talked a little bit.
Okay.
And yeah, then it was kind of, after she was doing a little bit better, I went back to like not essentially ignoring her again. She reached out again. So her dog passed, and she called me when it happened. I went over to her place, gave her a hug, and we talked, and I was there for her. So after she said she was doing better, and she really then sort of pivoted in like to the friend conversations, like, hey, my sister's coming to visit, here's a picture of her dog. To which then I went back into ignoring her. Again, like not the I should have sort of put the boundary up, I'm not your friend, and communicated that.
How can you listen to our channel and think I'm going to keep ignoring this woman? At what point in our 2000 videos have we said that? Zero.
The no contact is what sticks, Craig. Not so looking
I
back,
have
I've rewatched a
1,400
lot.
videos on no
I
contact, and they all
know.
explain don't ignore your ex.
I know. And
I'm going to
looking
reach
back,
through this phone right now and
I deserve it. Looking back at all your videos now, you do say that multiple times, but the no contact is what sticks. So I did
Oh
screw
my
that up.
The other part that I'm seeing that you had brought up was you had said that, part of it could have also been your avoidance. And,
Yeah.
Something that happens after a breakup is we want to protect ourselves, a
Yep.
breakup hurts. And so
Yep.
the idea of if I let this person in or if I show too much care, then are they just going to like mangle my heart again? So
Yep.
I could see your hesitance, but I could see also her 7 attempts to reach out, her dog,
Yep.
her
Yep.
like reaching out for help. I don't think she was in that state of mind where she's thinking that you're a friend.
most,
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, could you imagine reaching out to somebody and they keep ignoring you 7 times?
Yeah.
Think how you would feel it, right? Like that's a
Yeah.
horrible feeling.
Hmm.
Like I would
I
reach out to somebody that many times. Like, cause
you
it
know,
just feels like, oh my gosh, like you can't even reply to me. That's an awful feeling.
I have learned from that mistake, Craig. But yeah, so
Brutal.
basically from that point, I organized a baseball outing and invited my whole friend group. I didn't like exclude her in our group chat. But when it came time to get the tickets, I just didn't get her a ticket, made a new group chat with everybody else that was going. That caused some drama. Maybe not my best moment, but basically from there,
Well, I
what
mean, in all
happened?
fairness, I'm not going to invite my ex to a baseball game
Yeah.
either.
Yeah.
But as in
Yeah.
that situation,
Yep. And
um,
then apparently too, like she was trying to bring a date as well, which definitely,
ooh,
yeah.
what?
And
I would
yeah,
have gotten the date a seat like somewhere else.
yeah. And
All
so
right,
my
you are
my
A
taking
friend
different
group,
day.
B. Yeah, yeah.
Same seats, but on the next day.
And your date is going to be on the other side of the stadium.
yeah, and my friend group kind of turned on me for that. And then what happened is she really
But
started
why?
talking.
I mean, I don't understand. Why wouldn't they say, yeah, I understand why you don't want to invite your ex who wants to bring a date.
But I probably from her point of view, I reached out to him 7 times. My dog died. He wasn't as maybe compassionate or there as I wanted him to be. And then he didn't invite me to the baseball. So it might have been
Mhm.
Yeah.
the last straw of a buildup of events
Uh-huh.
for her.
Yeah, so then after that, there was definitely a rift in the friend group. Um, she talked a bunch of crap about me, which I heard secondhand. I didn't say anything about her. I left her alone. But then eventually I got a call from an unknown number that called me 5 times. And so eventually I answered, and it's just this guy like laying profanity into me, and then ultimately makes like a threat of violence.
Huh?
And
And what was he saying?
just things that you wouldn't want on your channel, Craig. And
I mean, where is this anger coming from? All because
yeah,
you didn't.
from what she said. Like I had never met this person. He lives in another state. The only reason I figured out who it was is because he left his caller ID on, and it clicked on who it was. It was her friend.
Wow.
And so yeah, so I told the friend group. Well, so after that, I reached out to a few individual people and like, hey, this happened to me. What do I do? And then that's when they told, and one of the people I reached out to was like her best friend, and she's like, yeah, she's been saying stuff about you. It's been a little bit much. So for her to
Ooh.
say that was like, yeah, like that, like
Y-
it was real. And
what was she saying about you?
I have no idea. I did
Oh, you
not
don't even
ask.
know.
I did not want to get into it. I'm not even gonna like justify that with a response. And so ultimately what I did is I sent her a letter like never contact me again. And I
Mm.
told the group what happened. And basically from there, I just got uninvited from everything, from like the birthday parties and all that stuff.
So
And
she's painting you out to be this villain, you
yep,
know?
yep. And that was exactly why I wasn't going to respond to any of that, because I am a very nice guy and I treat everybody with respect. And for anyone to talk ill of me like that is just completely unacceptable. And I still
You,
refuse to say anything bad about her.
yeah, but you would think your friends would be like, a little bit more supportive about you, like, what,
Yep.
like, these things that you're saying, they're not true, like, you know what I mean, defending you.
I really hope that they would, but ultimately, a lot of them just kind of ended up ghosting me as a result.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was really hard. Like I'm not gonna lie, it was really, really hard.
Yeah,
She,
you lost a partner and then you lost a friend group. So that's a
Yeah.
lot of support being lost all at once.
yeah.
Yep.
So what
Yep.
happened?
Yeah, so honestly, I just kind of went on my own way. I joined a rugby team and like kind of focused on that. Got a new job, and nice, like a really good job, like nice raise and all that stuff. And was kind of doing my own thing. And I started seeing people, and I had some success, but never the connection. And eventually, about like a month ago from today, I looked back on her Facebook, which I was blocked for a long time, and I was all of a sudden unblocked. And then I realized that her relationship status was public, and she was seeing somebody since June. So that was probably about 3 months at the time.
Wow.
And
She
that
was,
just
she was
like,
like, I want to hurt you back.
Mhm.
That's
yeah.
what it
And
feels
so
like.
that's when the floor kind of dropped for me. Um, so yeah, that was that. Then my mental health went to the floor. Got back into therapy, started rewatching all the videos. That's when I learned that it's not no contact, it's no reach out. And so what I did is I kind of just asked my friend group, like, where is she at? Um, Ultimately, they're like, yeah, she seems really happy. She's posting a lot on social media. And she does like one of her things even was hashtag happy, which I've never seen her post that before. So it definitely seems
Hashtag revenge is what it should say. That's what it seems like she's trying to do.
yeah,
She's
and
trying to hurt you, I think.
I think so too. And yeah, and honestly, I'm sad to say that it's working. Um, but yeah, so I actually, because I sent her that letter, there was no way she was ever going to reach out to me. And so I knew that if I was going to make anything happen, I had to reach out and open that door again.
That's a story you're telling yourself. That's not a fact. That's a story that you're telling yourself. Big difference. Be careful with that stuff.
I mean, I did tell her to never speak to me again. So I don't think she would ever reach out with that.
Yeah, but you have a big friend group.
That's
Okay.
true. That's true.
That's when you have a big friend group like that, it could have easily, when she's out of this new relationship and things have calmed down, she could have come over to you or approached you at some kind of event in the future.
Hmm.
So you got to be careful with the stories that you tell yourself, not
Sure.
just you, but everybody with these beliefs.
Hmm.
Yep.
Oh, if I don't reach out, my ex never will. You'd be surprised what we hear.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll tie this back to what we had talked about earlier with just maybe that distrust in the beginning of the breakup. Oh, she's just reaching out to me because she wants to be friends or breadcrumb me.
Hmm.
I would be willing to give some benefit of the doubt here. And it sounded like because she wasn't hearing from you at that time, right after the breakup, she came up with her own assumptions about
Mhm,
who you were, what you were doing, your intentions. And I
mhm,
see how without your input, you became the villain in her narrative.
mhm,
So now she's in this other relationship. This other guy maybe is super responsive. I'm sure it's early on in their
Sure.
relationship and she's getting all
mhm.
the attention and honeymoon phase that happens.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, but being in the same friend group, that's going to be something that is, going to be continual. So are you still a part of that friend group or you don't talk to anybody in that group anymore?
Well, I
I
feel like
talk.
we got a reach out coming up.
Okay.
Did you break no contact?
Yeah, I did.
I could tell.
Yeah, so the friend group is kind of fractured. I hang out
Okay.
with a handful of people.
Okay.
Um, like where we still have a volleyball team, which she's not on. And like she's doing all these other different sports, like 5 days a week now. But yeah, I did reach out. I just texted her, hey, like disregard my last message. Hope you're well. She replied instantly. Again, very short, nothing too emotional. Took my time responding. She then shared that she was thinking about me and my dogs.
Mm.
Yeah.
And
Even though she's
um,
got a new boyfriend, she's thinking about you
And your
yeah,
and the
and she
dogs. If you had a cat, if you only had a cat.
dogs.
well, she has 3 cats, and I miss her cats like none other. So
Of
you're
course you
right
do.
about
You're
the cats,
avoiding.
Greg. Yep. And she shared that she was still really struggling with Alto, so like she was willing to be a little vulnerable with that. Um,
Interesting.
and so I invited her the following week to our volleyball game, again to try and like reattract her back in my element with the group and playing
Yeah, but
sports.
she's got a boyfriend.
Yeah, that is true. And so before the volleyball game even happened, she invited me to trivia, with that same group, and I
What is she
went.
doing? You guys are both making some messy mistakes here.
Yep.
He's got a boyfriend. She shouldn't be inviting you to stuff. And you shouldn't be doing that either when she's seeing someone else.
Yeah.
You don't want it. It's going to make it really messy real quick if you do that.
Yeah, and somebody else's emotions are involved here too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So,
Yeah, and
you want
I
to,
wasn't sure what to do. Like she didn't say like, "Hey, we're gonna reconnect" or anything. She's just like, "Hey, the group is going tonight if you want to come." She sat as far away from me as she could. We didn't speak one on one at all. And then that was kind of that was it. Volleyball came, same type of thing, kind of avoids me, didn't say anything. I tried to say hi. I don't know if she heard me or just ignored me, but didn't respond.
yeah, she's
Um,
giving you a taste of your own medicine.
yeah, yeah.
And I'll say
You got 6 more highs to go before she.
in mutual friend groups like that, if the two of you are going to still be friends with the same people, there's going to be a moment where you
Sure.
have to say, I'm going to be in the same space as my ex and we're going to survive. Right. So it
Mhm,
sounds like that's what the two of you are testing here. You can be in the same space, maybe across the room, but
mhm.
you didn't disintegrate after the after the meeting.
Well,
So
she's hurt. I
yeah.
think she's hurt and she's angry, and I don't blame her. I mean, she made a lot of bids to connect with you and you ignored them. And, you could have said, why don't we get, early on, not right now, but you could have said, let's get together and, go out and talk a little bit and have some fun and slowly try to repair it.
Mhm.
Yep. Yep. I know I screwed that up, Craig. But yeah, then after Volleyball, kind of waited a week and just asked, hey, could we talk? And so we got together and um again, just try to like, have a conversation, tell her about what I've been going through, ask her how she's been.
Okay.
She never brought up seeing anybody. And then that's when I just kind of like said, like, hey, I just want to be honest with you. Like, I still have feelings for you. I just wanted to see kind of where you're at with things. And then so that's when she says, I have the boyfriend. She said it's very serious and they're thinking about moving in together. Um,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. You've known each other for a whole 3 months?
Yeah. And so
Sounds like a great decision.
she is a very anxious person. Um,
Uh,
and yeah, so I think she's trying to replace me. And yeah,
and she could
suppose,
have been trying to hurt you there too.
yeah.
It's very serious,
And
right?
the relation, the conversation we had, it was very much very like stonewalled from her. It was very dry, not getting emotional from her end, just trying to be very, stonewalled as well.
Sure. Well, I'm sure she has some feelings for this new guy, and in her mind,
Yeah.
and that's still the excitement fantasy
Yeah.
stage.
Hmm.
But whether or not it lasts is a whole nother story.
Hmm.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, I don't know what to do.
You got to leave her alone.
That's
I
that's
mean, she's got a boyfriend,
yeah.
Hmm.
and you don't want to chase after her when she's got a
Yeah.
boyfriend, right?
Yeah, but should I like hang out with the same friend group then, or should I just kind of say like, hey, we can't be in the same place?
I think I would back away for a little bit
Yeah.
and take some time um, to really reflect on things and think about things and
Hmm.
work on your avoidant attachment style because, you know, this relationship didn't work. So why
Hmm.
didn't it work? You were shocked by the breakup,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So that's always telling. If it's like if you're shocked by the breakup, was it that you're missing things? Are you not emotionally attuned? You know what I mean? Like it seems like you're pretty avoidant, right? Not many
Yeah.
people are going to avoid their ex or ignore their ex 7 times, right?
Yeah.
So we have to learn to be emotionally attuned to our partner's needs and their bids to connect.
Hmm.
And you need to make sure that you do a good job and you're able to manage the struggles of closeness and space if she does come back.
Right. And in terms of the friend group, it doesn't have to be either or. Sometimes people will have that sense of, oh my gosh, I have to like leave the group now, or I have to be more involved in the group to see what's
Yeah.
going on with her and in her life. It can be just a break, just to reorient yourself for a bit. And this could also be a good time to kind of expand your social circle in a way. If
Mhm.
Hmm.
we're way too reliant on just the mutual friends that we have with our ex, then when there's conflict between us and our ex, then it affects the entire friend group and our emotional support system as a
Hmm.
whole. So just something to consider. I know you had said that the group has been kind of fractured. Maybe there's a couple people that you connect with more, that
Mhm.
you can spend more one-on-one time with, or switch it up a little bit.
Yep, that's been what I've been doing is
Yeah.
3 or 4 of them I've been hanging out with individually, and that's kind of it.
Yeah.
I think that, when it falls apart with this other guy, she'll slowly start to warm up and, come around you a bit more and, you know, be friendly a little bit more. She's not going to throw herself at you likely.
Hmm.
But so just look to see when she starts to warm up and wants to be around you a bit more. But you got to
Hmm.
take it slow and you really got to think about why it didn't work out. Because I have a feeling if we were talking to her, she'd be like, yeah, we didn't work out because of ABC 1, 2, 3.
Hmm.
And you're like, I'm not really sure why we broke up. We got into an argument,
Yeah.
which is often what an avoidant will say. They're not really sure. And
Mhm.
especially with women are so more in tuned with these things where they can break these problems down a lot of the times. So
Mhm.
I feel like she would say, well, we broke up because of this, and this, not just because of that. And you'd be like, oh, wait, what?
Right. And while we can't control what our ex thinks about the breakup or their narrative, sometimes we're given opportunities to kind of have a bit of a stage and say what our intentions are. I think had you had that conversation where you had said, hey, I think I still have some feelings for you, like a week after the breakup, when she was saying that she regretted the breakup itself, then things might have gone differently. So I would say just be more aware of those opportunities to speak up. I think you shot a lot of those down out of fear that she might have been taking advantage of you or I don't know, had bad intentions for you. But I would
Hmm.
use those moments, and this is something that's hard for avoidance to do, is to even like admit feelings or to say kind of more of those sappy things. I know you had
Hmm.
mentioned during the relationship you had almost like this teasing relationship, and maybe there were times where she couldn't take it. Sometimes
Hmm.
that's a way that avoidants show love is by teasing or by, poking fun at because it can be harder to be a lot more tender. So
Hmm.
get in touch with that tenderness is my advice here.
But yeah, but not
Not
talk.
while she has a boyfriend.
Yeah, and yeah, and you don't want to rush into that stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Mhm.
something that you want to consider for how you are showing up in a
Yeah,
relationship.
exactly.
And take a look at, and I'd think about your other exes and why you broke up from the other people that you
Mhm.
dated. Is there any patterns? Is there any similarities that you can see correlated with each other? You know, but
Yeah.
I do
Yeah,
think
I mean,
good.
oh, I was gonna say it's definitely because I'm an avoidant and I am not fully willing to commit at times, and kind of have a foot out the door emotionally, and
And
um,
people can feel that. People
Yeah.
can sense that.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
it's not a good feeling. It just makes them feel abandoned all the time, and eventually they'll leave. So
hmm
you got to do that work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been back in therapy. I've been watching the videos, and I've been doing a lot of reflecting, and yeah, I definitely want to make a change and want to make it work.
Now, I tell people, a lot of people all the time, you got to stop watching the no contact videos. In your case, I think you need to start watching the no contact videos. You're not listening to the no contact videos.
You got me
Step
there,
it up.
Craig. You got me there, Craig.
And
Gonna get
also
another
too,
million views.
I want to add something as well, because you had mentioned before that, there's that possibility she might bring her date or her boyfriend. I think
Mhm,
how you handle those situations is also going to be like a reflection of your character, and also a moment to show how you handle them. So,
mhm,
just being graceful in those moments, being as cordial and polite, that's something that I would recommend. I know sometimes it can feel really threatening and uncomfortable, and, you know, if you feel like you can't be in that space, then don't go to that event. But
mhm,
I think that could be an opportunity to say, hey, we can all coexist, and
Yeah.
I can be respectful and
mhm.
And I do think she's a bit naive to think that it's going to magically work with somebody she's been dating for what, 3 months?
yeah.
Yep.
Is that how long, roughly?
3 to 4 months now. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's like, and they're
It
gonna
takes
move in
time.
together.
It takes time.
You're gonna move in together with a stranger is what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't stress about that too much, even though it's awful to see that your ex is dating somebody new and then hearing that they're gonna be serious.
Mhm,
That's just the fantasy of all those unmet needs, and oh my
mhm,
God, they're so perfect and wonderful. Yeah,
Mhm.
till you get to know them, and then you realize, everybody's got their issues that are going to come out. So in the
Yep.
meantime, this is an opportunity for you to really reflect and grow and watch to see if she starts to warm up with you. I think if it falls apart with this other guy, there's a good chance she'll just be friendlier to you. She'll warm up. She'll start to talk to you more. And that's when you'll get an idea of if she's interested again,
Mhm.
right?
Got it.
So in the meantime, though, really work on who you are and how you show up, because it's really important to pay attention to people's bids to connect and reciprocate. Otherwise, it causes them pain when you don't,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah. And I'll say sometimes it can be hard to think about coming back from when a whole friend group gets involved in your relationship and it gets messy and you get
Yeah.
threats over the phone. You're like, man, how am I going to come back from that? But, that's part of living in a community. You see that with tennis communities, dance communities, all sorts of different communities, and people are able to bounce back and be resilient. Most important thing is that, you're making the decisions that you want for yourself, and she is for herself too. So give it time.
Yeah, and I think she kind of got everybody all worked up about how you're this horrible guy. But the truth is, if you've treated all those people well, which you
Mhm.
say you have, they're gonna know that.
Yeah.
They're gonna calm down and they're gonna be able to think clearly and be like, you know what? Like, no, he's always been a good guy. Like, why are we like all attacking him?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Things tend to calm down.
exactly. So just give that some time too, and I think
Mhm.
that'll work itself out.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, I hope this was helpful. We covered a lot.
Yeah, thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. You too.
Okay, and what are we gonna do when your ex reaches out?
Respond and remain emotionally stable.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a good too. And don't have a 4-hour conversation. I gotta emphasize that too, because
And meet up in person, not text.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, how many people will blow it with a 4-hour phone call as soon as your ex reaches out? You gotta calm yourself
Pace
down.
yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Got it.
All right.
All
Well, thanks
right.
for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
You got it.